thank you for bringing me to that bit because that was one of the weirdest sex scenes I've seen.
What's your favorite scary movie? Swallow this.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Arrow in the Head show. That would make me Lance, and that would make you John the Arrow buddy. How have you been? Long time no see.
Long time no see, bro. I'm good, man. I'm good. I just got back from Vegas for anniversary with my chick, and just really had a great time. And not big into gambling myself, but Vegas is just a fun town. And you ever been?
Vegas. Oh, many times. I love it down there. Not the biggest fan of dry heat, but I like the vibe. People are always having fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever do the zip line? There's a zip line where you zip across Old Vegas.
Yes, I've done it. The Old Vegas one. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I actually did. I've only been to Old Vegas twice. The first 4 times I went to Vegas was always on the Strip. I like Old Vegas. There's something a little sleazier about that place. That it's more my vibe. I kind of like. I like the degenerates. Yeah.
Definitely. That was a trip to do a zip line, over everybody. Here's a clip in case you gave a fuck.
Yo! That's awesome!
Wasn't that special? Cool. Well, look, your day's about to get fucking better because we're going to talk about a movie that I've always enjoyed, but I rewatched it this morning to prep for the show and hadn't seen it in a bit, and it kind of blew my fucking mind. And that movie's Psycho 3, by the way. But before then, do the honors, please.
John.
Yes.
What are you drinking over there?
Oh, this is unique.
Neft.
This is a vodka from a small privately owned vodka maker.
I like the container. It looks like
it looks like a thing of dynamite, but really, really smooth. Not much bite. It reminds me a bit of Russian vodka, like real proper, not like fucking Smirnoff and that crap, like proper Russian vodka, where you taste it's like water, just smooth as a hooker's ass, one that moisturizes, obviously. So yeah, that's what I'm drinking. Got to do it. What are you drinking?
Man, well, I went to the liquor store by my house, get some real cheap. Oh, so I'm not proud of this. I got one of these twisted teas. It's not good. It's actually kind of gross, but it was like $2. And then I got this for like $1. And so I'm just going to then make. I
love your shake and bake fucking drinking techniques, man.
Well, now the 5% sugary drink, which I don't even like, is now, I don't know. I'm not good at math. So what is this, 15%, 20%, 25? I don't know. But at least it has a little more of a bite. So it's a poor man's drink, but it's a poor man that's trying to make his life better by adding something into it. So,
I'll drink to that, actually. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Hard times, eh? Cheers to all of you.
Hello, my friends! Hey!
I'm sorry. So, look, last couple of shows, I have a tendency to take the floor. Today, I'm feeling polite. So, how about you run with it, Velchek? And you know this movie very well. I actually rewatched your Black Sheep episode on Joe Blow Horror Originals.
Yeah, I made a whole little defense of it. I'm proud of that video. I think it turned out well.
Yeah, it's a really good video. Well done, man. And I rewatched it after I watched the movie because, I like the sound of your soothing voice.
Oh, that's very kind.
Very kind. Radio. Hey, Lance.
I got to have a narrating voice, So if I can listen to this guy right here. So here's the deal. During Black Friday, they had the 4 Blu-ray box set of Psycho 1, 2, 3, and 4. I own 1. And so I bought it. And that's the reason I ended up doing the video you mentioned. But I got to be honest, this is like peak slasher 1986. And I think that influence makes this like such a fun damn time. John, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, if you had to put a gun in my head, I would say 2 is a better movie. But I think I prefer number 3. and I thought of you because you know the directing by Perkins, the weird colors he uses, you know, a lot of primaries, even his angles. I was like, this kind of seems like a giallo. It seems like something Sean would be into. I'm sitting there like, you know, I don't go through that whole thing. It's like, wait a second, what if I like giallo stuff? But no, man, I absolutely love this movie. It is a fun ride. It's far more sleazier, campier, weirder is how I would describe this. I mean, Perkins directed. I think it's one of his. And he did one more. There's a weird
Lucky Stiff.
Yeah. But I mean, I gotta be honest.
This overweight dude who gets invited by some hot chick to like a family. It's been a while, guys, and also bear with me. But a family dinner or something, but they wind up the family's cannibals. So the hot chick brought the overweight dude just because he's going to be a meal. So
I hope he directed it well. But this is stylish, man. Where he how he frames it, how he blocks it. I mean, it's good. It's like really good. My thing, if I'm going to just sum this up to somebody who's never seen it, what if Psycho was made during the time of like Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees and like that kind of fun Michael Myers era?
Yeah.
Only weirder.
Oh, I loved it. And I mean, you mentioned giallos, definitely. I mean, I don't know if you remember the scene where the girl gets her throat slit when she's taking a piss.
The teenager, because college.
Yeah. They're like partying party at the hotel and
toilet paper.
And so as that goes, the blood, and then he goes and pops on extreme close-ups, ECUs of the birds, like the stuffed birds' eyeballs and stuff like that. Then the toilet paper. That is very giallo in the way that he constructed that kill scene, and the same thing for the scene where that hot chick gets killed in the phone booth.
Red, my favorite scene.
She's about to take off her shirt, and I totally forgotten about that. And I'm like, holy shit, is he gonna pull a Tenebra? In Tenebra, the Dario Argento giallo, one of my favorite kills in that movie, and I know you've probably never seen it, but you should, is the girl takes off her shirt, and the shirt winds up over her head, and the killer has like a stray razor, and he slashes the shirt open, and her face comes out, and it slits her fucking throat, just the way it's cut. In the phone booth scene, similar vibe, you know, the shirt. So I'm like, my God, it's more giallo. The lighting, very giallo.
Yes. And
look, at the end of the day, Argento was a heightened Hitchcock. If you know Argento's work, you know, he's a heightened Hitchcock, and Brian De Palma was a ripoff of Argento. So Argento ripped off Hitchcock, and De Palma ripped off Argento and Hitchcock. So all three of them are like, you know, they're in the same bubble of visual style and type pictures they make. So yeah, definitely saw the giallo influences, but also you had, so that gave it almost a European flair, while at the same time it's a very sleazy movie, you know, with I gotta say it right now, Jeff Fahey, the great Jeff Fahey, fucking owning the scenery in that movie, dude.
Yeah, Dwayne Duke.
Dwayne Duke. Just call me Duke.
Yeah. His friends call him Duke.
Hold on. He kicks up Marine. He goes,
"You could have been coming instead of going."
It's like, and he shows up later. He's working there. I like. Don't
worry about it. Yeah.
Here's what I put. What I like about Dwayne Duke is he's essentially the same character as Toomey, but he's more handsome, and so it's a little more like he could be.
I hope he washes dishes better than he runs a motel. What, you gonna ask for a motel so far from the beaten track, huh?
You know, because we fired Toomey in part 2 because he's a sleazy drug addict and just clearly like probably banging hookers. Yeah. But instead of looking like some Chicago hot dog maker on 31st Street, you got Jeff Fahey. He's like pretty blue eyes, and it's like, come on in.
Well, you know, as opposed to Toomey, and that, you know, was something I forgot when I watched the film this morning, is Jeff Fahey's character, Duke. Toomey is just a sleazebag. But Duke, I think, is a psychopath. Because when we get to the
psychopath,
get to the scene where he took the body of Mother, and he's like shirtless and red lighting and
playing the guitar,
you know. And I was like, man, this guy's fucking nuts. So it's one psycho versus another psycho, but he's nuts, different nuts. Norman is like a split personality. You know, it's every time he gets a boner, mom shows up to bust his balls. That's basically that's basically what's happening with Norman Bates. Every time he gets sexually aroused,
Mother comes out.
Mother comes in to, cock block him. Basically, Norman Bates is cock blocked by the split personality of his mother. But Jeff Fahey's character, the Duke, has none of that complexity. He's just a sociopath who just cares about himself, but he's very good looking. He's very charming. He plays the guitar. So two different kinds of psychos.
The laughs.
Well, thank you for bringing me to that bit, because that was one of the weirdest fucking sex scenes I've seen. You got the chick who's licking pictures of naked chicks on the wall. She burns herself with a cigarette, and then or some shit like that. And then you got Faye reverse, who's got a lamp on his dick like this. And I read that initially Perkins wanted Fahey to just be butt naked, dick out.
I heard that. And Fahey needed the protection.
Yeah, exactly. But it makes the scene even weirder.
Well, the lampshades are covered in porn.
Yeah. In what?
The lampshades are covered in porn.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Just like logically, just think of let's take the sex scene out and think of before he got horny. There's some work involved in the whole thing.
Oh yeah, the missing scene, man. The missing scene.
Yeah, exactly.
That should have been a subplot. Him going through those nudie mags. All right, I'm gonna put him here, put him there.
He hasn't been there for like a year. I mean, that's like first week. You put your bed, you get your lamp, you get your clock. Like he basically put his guitar down. Okay, let's get the porn up. Yeah, no, I remember when I was a kid because I found it weird and hot. And now that I'm an adult, it's like it is weird and hot. It's because it's so fucking weird. You're right. It's one of those. I think on the video I made people even comment like, "Oh, mind the lampshade scene," because it's like even people of all generations and races and creeds are like, okay, that's weird. But now we're talking about it. What 38 years later, 37. I'm bad at math. So it clearly is iconic because it's so bizarre.
That's what's great about Psycho 3 is that it really comes off like an auteur piece. It really Psycho 2 was, well directed by Richard Franklin and everything, but it's very basic.
It's dry. It's very classy.
Yeah, very classic. Better word than basic. But Psycho 3, it's somebody with an ambitious vision, visually, aesthetically, but even tone-wise. Because the tone, I mean, there's some beautiful moments of dark humor in that thing. I mean, we could go down the list of the bloody ice cubes and the cop.
Shooting on them. Well, normal.
The of course, they followed the rule of comedy. You do a joke 3 times. So Jeff Fahey's Duke says, don't watch the guitar.
Oh yeah, at the very end, he's like
says it in the car, and then he says it with the chick, and then he says it when
Norman's gonna kill him. Yeah.
Watch the guitar.
Watch the guitar.
I respect that. It's funny. Like he cared about it. He might be a psychopath, but he had one love, and it was old beauty over there.
Yeah. Or Woody Woodpecker. Looney Tunes are playing on the TV when Duke has stolen Mother's body, and kind of using it to parallel Norman losing his beans. It's a fucking thing of beauty, like dark humor, but it works. Even the scene where what was her name? She played a journalist. The journalist comes face to face with, or is it the journalist? I think it's the journalist. Comes face to face with Norman in full mother mode.
When she comes in the house and
he's got this fucking facial expression. Yeah. I was not gonna do it not to make a fucking fool of myself on the show, but you did it for me, so thank you. And you're kind of like, what the it's weird, it's offbeat, but it's funny.
It shouldn't work, but it does in this. Because I've seen screen grabs of it, and I'm always like, man, you can't screen grab that because it just makes the movie look dumb, but it actually makes sense in the moment because the tone is so bizarre. I mean, I'd like to bring up though, and this is important, Norman's mannerisms in this are awkward. And it's clearly on purpose, but his cadence, his vocal cadence is so
he's pulling weird. A walk-in.
Yes.
A walk-in, yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. My cure couldn't cure the hurt I caused.
It's right. Yeah. I want to wash myself. But of course, it's because at number 2, it ends with him finally fucking snapping back.
Yeah.
So this is a crazy man doing his best to be normal, but he's crazier than he was in the first. So we've come full circle, but he's even more nuts. So his containment of it is so bad, but people like think he's sweet. Like, old Norman is just like, nothing's wrong with me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's that was, if I had to say a negative, I had 2 negatives actually only for the movie. One of them that popped on this watch is that sheriff, man, he's a fucking idiot. Like, really, dude, the guy's nuts. It's obvious, man.
There's one killer in the town, and he's like, it can't be the guy that's done it before, or was convicted. There's like 100 signs. He's like, he's like that.
Leave poor Norman alone. He's a sweet boy.
Just murder people. Yeah.
So that did pop. But anyways, I don't want to go negatives, and I will do that at the end. It was nice that they took the Norman Bates character even to kind of like a higher level. So in like he gets in bed with a girl as Norman. It's the same pattern over and over again. Marion Crane, he wanted her. Mom comes in. The Meg Tilly character, I think it was a bit more intricate than that in Psycho 2. Yeah, it was more intricate than that. The whole.
Well, this is mirroring the first one because you even point out that the blonde girl's name is it's Maureen something with a C, and it's almost mimicking the first one. It's like we almost have a weird remake in the middle of this movie. Like he's trying to stop himself. Yeah, they cuddle, at one point.
Yeah, yeah. That part 2 you're talking about, right?
No, in part 3 he cuddles with Maureen. Yeah, I'm saying part 3.
Yeah, Maureen. Yeah, that's basically what it is. She looks like Marion Crane. Yeah, so it brings him back. To that, and on the suitcase, the same initials, MC, but it's taken to another level because Marion Crane in Psycho gets killed, pretty early on. In Psycho 3, it's almost like this is Norman Bates having achieved a new level in an attempt at having a romantic relationship with someone.
He got farther than he's ever got.
Yes, he did, and in bed, with a girl who's a nun. So, which I thought was kind of interesting to see. He's stopping himself because if he does the business, mommy's going to come and butcher her. And she's hesitant as well because, she's a nun.
He told himself back at the first time. At the very end, I believe it's an accident.
Yeah, she trips and she has the Arbogast. Is that his name?
The cool fall.
Yeah.
Which we thought was going to be
part 2.
But it just poor guy fucking hits early in the way down.
Yeah, ding gong. He's just fucking dropped like a rag doll. Another thing, just that added to the kind of surrealistic vibe of the movie at times was the really clever scene transitions that Perkins had. Like, for example, like something like along the lines where I don't remember specifically how it went, even though I just watched it, but I'm a human being with a feeble mind, but something along the lines where he leaves somewhere and slams the door, and then it turns and he's already like in mother's room. Like they connect 2 scenes from different locations through something. And he did that a couple times. At a point there was like under the door, like light coming out from under the door, and it becomes a knife.
Yeah, I remember that. That's the I think when he's about to go kill her.
And finally, the music. I know we're not gonna.
I didn't have any issue with the music here.
Well, you're not a big synth guy, so.
No, but I have no issues. No negatives for the music here. I think it fits with what it's trying to be.
I love the theme song, the opening theme song when she's walking after leaving the.
Like in the California desert.
Yeah. I love the theme song, and Norman plays it on the piano later on. Loved it. And so take all of these elements, varied elements, ingredients, if you will, and you got a really solid film that is a perfect progression of the Psycho lore, in my opinion. I know the film didn't make money when it came out. Critics were half and half, but in a fair world, this is a movie that everybody should revisit and look at it today, and you'll see, a very ambitious film, a film that takes chances, that goes for the kill. It's yeah, man. I think it's fucking awesome.
I'm going to just concur and say, I have a feeling. Well, the problem is Psycho is such an old property that I don't know how much. I mean, I guess the TV show came out a while ago, but I don't know how well that brought people back to these movies, because I would say it has everything working against it. The property's from 1960. It's the third movie. Everything should say this movie sucks, but it's great. It's great. I want more people to see it, but I kind of feel that anybody younger than us wouldn't, because what's Psycho? And I'm going to watch Psycho 3. And it's like, I know, but that you have to. This is the one.
I'm going to sound like an old here, but if you're a film fan, a serious film fan, not a casual, you know what? I truly believe that anybody watching this show is not a casual film fan.
Okay.
Like my mom, and she'll go watch the, next not that I love Gerard Butler, but she'll watch Plane, or whatever. And that's it. Ask her who directed it. She doesn't know. Okay. I like to believe that the people that are, on this show, whether you're older, younger, whatnot, you're a serious film fan. And if you're a serious film fan and you haven't seen Psycho 1, 2, and 3, then do yourself a fucking favor and, have a trilogy night. One might be, it's older, so it's 60s, black and white, so it might be a little harder for you. But watch them back to back, man, and have a blast.
This is putting Norman Bates in the height of the slasher phase, the slasher
boom. Yeah.
And Perkins nails it. And I know that this was like, if this did well, he would have had a bigger directing career. I do know also a darker note that is on this movie. He
found out he had
AIDS. Yeah. So it's like a fucking champ. I mean, dude, you give me that thing. I mean, it was especially in the 80s. It's not now where it's like, okay, I can take a pill. We can work on this. It's like, no, you've been sentenced to death.
Yeah.
And he still went out and made an amazing movie that, like you said, is directed and with more style and substance than it has any right to. It could have just played it cool, and I would have been fine. But no, he's like, no, if I'm going to direct something, I'm going to go all in, and he went all in. Dude, like I said, 2 might be a better film. I prefer 3. If you haven't seen it, I mean, by now we've ruined it, but please watch it. If you like slashers, this is a cool slasher. Not a high body count, but it's stylish enough where in between the kills, it's actually a super interesting movie. And Perkins' his performance is so damn weird, as we discussed earlier, that
it's Christopher Walken on coke.
Yes, but it's so cool. And then fucking Jeff Fahey. I'm sorry, but Dwayne Duke, I could go the entire time. He just, everything he says was so sleazy. Yeah. And he was just such a piece of shit. When he meets the reporter for the first time, he like hits on it, puts his like arm around. He's like, yeah, and she's like, I bet that works with all the girls. It's like, he didn't get one. Poor guy. I'm gonna say this. I only have one negative, actually, personally, and I'd like to just knock it out. I noticed a lot of ADR.
You always notice ADR, man. I've noticed that about you.
I got good ears.
Really?
Quick thing. I went to the hearing doctor. Because I think I had like extra wax maybe. I don't know. I had like some muffleness. And he gave me like the test after he like removed it. And he's like, oh, you got 20/20 hearing. And I was like, you're goddamn right. You're damn right. So, but I mean, that's my thing. I just noticed a lot of lines just seemed slightly cleaner than the rest. And it seemed like ADR. Could be wrong, but I'm guessing a lot of this stuff was probably redubbed because of wind and shit outside. But that's my only complaint. It just sticks out more now that we've, we're
I didn't pick up on it. I didn't pick up on it because I was involved. When you're involved in a movie, really involved, you're not supposed to see these kind of mistakes.
I catch ADR and accidents all the time.
I know, but you're a special creature, man. I didn't notice any ADR. I'm sure there is some. If you notice it, then I believe you. You're good at spotting that shit.
I've got a rebuilt ice machine and 4 cabins booked for later in the week.
The only thing I didn't like on this run is kind of like the whole. So Norma Bates was not the real mother, as we found out in part 2, and Miss Poole, I forgot her first name.
Emma Spool.
Emma Spool is the real mother. Because now in part 3, no, Spool wasn't the mother. Spool was the sister. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I forgot about that. That they overcomplicate the mythology for no
exactly.
no
There was
reason.
no reason for that to even be there, man. Spool or Spoon or whatever the fuck her name is should have still been his real mother as per part 2. And adding this little thing other than giving the journalist chick something to try to convince Norman to snap out of it, and that is what prompts him to turn on and set himself free of mother, because it's not really the mother, so he kills the dummy. You could have written around that, man. You could have found a better way.
No, that's a good point. I'm actually going to jump on that with you and say I forgot about that. I think just because the kind of movie it is, I forgave it. But no, you're right, though. It's unnecessary, and it undermines what made number 2 kind of special, which is like that ending twist, because that's what got Norman to go crazy again. It's like he finally snapped and he puts his real mother back where she belongs.
Yeah, I like that ending better, that outcome better. It's a nitpick, really, because it didn't really upset my enjoyment in the picture. I just felt it was not necessary. I think that's pretty much it. I will mention that I really love the way that, because we talked a lot about his directing, but I forgot to say this, the way that he communicates visually, how the blonde, I forgot her name,
Maureen.
Reminds him of Marion Crane, because when he first sees her, they're in the diner, and she bends down or something, does an action, and it kind of turns, and then he flashbacks to scenes from the original Psycho, but then it winds up with like a close profile shot of the girl from Psycho 3, but in black and white, emulating the final shot of Psycho after, the shower scene, that is, after she falls, on the ground. And then it's in black and white, but it's not Marion Crane, it's her, the girl from Psycho 3. And then it goes to color. And I thought that was just ingenious, just really genius way to communicate that.
Yeah, for one movie, I mean, dude, I couldn't do it. So,
no,
I love it. Great flick. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I hope more people do. My the video I did this. I mean, it's not talked about as much. I do think it's one of those kind of buried over time, but for being a part 3 and being this good is very rare. It's very rare, and we should commend it for being as good as it is. And it's not like on a curve, like, oh, it's good because it's like, no, this is a damn good movie, period. There is no caveat.
I concur. Well, on that note, I'm kind of like now on a Norman Bates kick. So, I am going to rewatch part 4 soon. I never hated part 4. It's okay.
Hopefully maybe we watch it, and then maybe later on we'll discuss it. I'd like to talk to that about somebody. It had what's his name from E.T. And he's in
Henry Thomas.
Yeah, I like Henry Thomas.
Yeah, no, he's a good little actor. Yeah, and it was directed by Mick Garris.
And I like Mick Garris. I will always defend Sleepwalkers. So
yeah, good cheese, but that's for another time.
Of course.
All right, man. Well, look, dude, I'm done. So,
all right, guys. Well, until next time, John, I'm gonna finish this disgusting tea, and I guess think about what I've done.
Yeah, and you guys, while he finishes his disgusting tea, Psycho 3, what do you think? Love it, hate it, never saw it, for shame. Stab the comments below, let us know, and I'm gonna leave you all off with a clip of Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates pushing cereal in a commercial. Here you go, boom.
Oatmeal Raisin Crisp. It's scary how good it tastes.
Oatmeal Crisp, Oatmeal Raisin Crisp.
Look, Mother, I'm eating my oatmeal.
Now that's a good boy.